Welcome back to Straight from the Agent. Who are you?
Connery Calkins? I think.
That takes me back to Anchorman when they put the question mark. I'm Ron Burgundy? I am Johnny B. Good, the flip-flop agent. And you're sitting with us.
Yep.
Straight from the Agent. Straight from the Agents.
Move this a little closer.
Yeah, of course.
I'm sorry.
Why don't we just tap on the microphone just for the hell of it? Okay, so we're back. So we had, let's see, a couple episodes. We talked about comments.
Yep.
People think we're vampires. Super great.
It's cool.
Love all that. We're getting more comments
Mm-hmm.
on our videos and our shorts.
Yep.
Which is also great. And we're going to have to add in like a comment episode.
Yeah.
Like every 4 episodes.
Maybe a blooper episode as well.
Yeah, but that's definitely not safe for work. Because,
No. You can put a tag on there, not safe for work, right?
Yeah, I could.
Right,
could.
yeah.
Some excessive language.
Yeah.
Anybody that's in the real estate industry, we're all a bunch of vile POSs.
A lot of the bloopers, though, is I'll say something, you're like, it's so hard to be friends with you.
It's really hard. It is. But you know what? It takes all types. And you may not vibe with my old ass. Maybe you want, some Gen Z kid to write your contracts for you. But I mean, that's fine. I respect it.
I don't think I'm Gen Z. I'm 1997. What generation is that?
Oh, you're right there, bro. You're right there. The simple fact that you even think that you could dip a toe into the waters of being a millennial, I don't think so, bro.
I'm real close. Hey, at least I was born in the 19s.
19s. Oh my God. I hate him so much. I hate him.
It's cool. I hate myself too. Let's get into it.
Yeah. Self-deprecation is definitely one of the things that you have to be really good at to be in this industry.
Yes.
All right. We're going to jump right into it. I'm going to kick us off with the seller question. You ready?
Send it.
All right, let's go. Send it. Yeah. Oh, I'm a millennial. Send it. Whatever happened to just let's go?
I hate him.
I'm not going to put that out into the universe. I'm not going to verbalize it, but I'm going to think it. Oh, here's a beauty. Man, these just play into everything that we've previously discussed.
Mm-hmm.
So again, if you've been listening, sorry, first off. Secondly, we're trying to build up a level of education here so you understand the process so that you've got a little bit of an idea of what's going on when you decide to figure out who your agent's going to be, who you're going to work with, how you're going to work through the process.
Yeah.
So this is a great one as well. So this is number 26. How do multiple offers work?
Ooh.
And keep in mind, we're looking at this from the seller perspective.
Okay.
So that's where we're locked in. We talked a lot about being a buyer and how you can set your offer up for success, but now we're on the sell side.
Okay.
So we want to talk about how do multiple offers work. So I'll let you kick us off.
With multiple offers, it's at the essence, you have just put your home on the market, most likely.
Right.
It's opening weekend.
Sure.
It happens, but it's very unlikely that on a random Tuesday your house has been on the market for 6 months, you get 4 offers in hand.
Unless you have a substantive price drop.
Exactly, yes. But realistically, it's probably opening weekend. You just put your home on the market. You probably had an open house. You have 4 or 5 different offers in hand. What you have to do now is typically what your agent will recommend is call for highest and best. So with these
highest and best. So how does that occur?
So
what does the agent do?
The agent will reach out to either all the agents individually, or they'll send out a mass message via showing time or an email that we're calling for highest and best by this day at this time.
And that basically goes out to all of the agents that either have already shown the home, attended the open house, or have future showings already scheduled.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's basically like, hey, we're making a decision on this day at this time. Either get us an offer, or if you can make your offer better, make it better.
Sure.
Because you're going to be making a decision at that point. What I always recommend with my sellers is we'll sit down, first and foremost, review all the offers. I always accompany each offer with a net sheet to show how much you're going to be walking away with at the end of the day, because each offer is different.
Yes. And that's, again, it goes back to, it depends. So every offer is going to have different terms and conditions.
Yep.
Could be occupancy. It could be inspections. It could be we'll pay for part of your closing costs.
Yep.
We're going to have an appraisal gap. We're going to do X, Y, Z. So that's why we aren't going out of our way to not be clear in these statements, but so much of it depends.
Yeah.
So much of it is just.
You could have some lowball offers.
Yeah.
You could have an offer that's 20 grand over asking.
Sure.
But what you want to look for is most likely to close.
Yes.
Because you can have a great offer that is, let's call it 25,000 over asking.
Sure.
Let's call it conventional financing. So
Sure.
it's a good loan. But it has a long inspection period, 14 days, we'll say.
Sure.
It has, obviously, it's contingent upon an appraisal.
Right.
The other terms, conditions, let's say that it's contingent upon the buyer selling their current home.
Right.
Or you get an offer either at asking, or maybe it's even a little under ask price, but it's cash, no inspection.
Sure.
Close within 2 weeks.
Sure.
The more money sounds great.
Right.
But so many things could go wrong.
Right.
The buyer could not sell their house. They could get fired the day before closing.
Sure.
They could.
And we've seen all of these scenarios.
They could get divorced.
We're not just randomly making things up.
Yeah.
This is legit. We've been in the weeds with this.
You could have someone die, unfortunately.
Been there?
Yep.
I've absolutely been there.
I've had a seller.
That is wild to try to traverse.
I had a seller pass away one time.
Yeah.
Right before closing. It was very unfortunate.
Yes.
For everyone, not just because the deal died, but
of course.
It sucks.
Yeah. No.
We
absolutely have empathy. We're not sociopaths over here.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, it's well, we just have to figure it out.
Yeah.
We have to continue moving forward and figure out how we're going to make this happen.
Right. But you want to look for what's most likely to close, because a 2-week time frame with no inspection, really there's nothing that could go wrong. Now, if the buyer backs out, you just keep the deposit. Oh, well, we're back on the market. That's a risk that we're willing. Each offer has a risk.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But you want to mitigate those risks as much as humanly possible.
Well, and this is where, so let's talk about a little bit on the buyer side. On the buyer side, that's where you want to make sure that you have an agent that's going to follow up.
Yeah.
That's going to ask those questions. Hey, is there anything that's really important to your sellers that would help our offer be a little bit stronger? And a lot of times, maybe it's free occupancy.
Yeah.
Maybe they need 45 days after closing to be able to get moved into their new house. And you could offer that 45 days at zero cost.
Or go a little over. They're asking for 30 days. You give them 45 days.
Right.
Because you want to be nice, but you also want to get your offer accepted.
Right. Right.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of nuances into that, but so much of it is you just have to look at the offer with the clearest set of eyes and say, listen, at the end of the day, it's not always about the offer price.
Yeah.
The terms and conditions that associate that offer price is typically what's going to make or break a deal.
I just saw the other day I saw BAM posted it.
Yeah.
Which I want to try doing, because this market's crazy that we're in right now, especially in Genesee County, but having the buyer pay transfer tax for the seller.
Sure.
Just add that in there.
Absolutely.
Just anything to sweeten the deal in a multiple offer situation to get an offer accepted.
100%.
So that's what's cool about real estate. I never even thought of that.
Right.
But everything's negotiable. That's one of the first things I remember you saying when we first met. Every single aspect is negotiable.
100%.
So,
and that's why I love it.
Yeah.
That's why I love it. And I do wear my heart on a sleeve a little bit, on my sleeve. When I don't get an offer accepted, I'm like, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
I busted my tail and made all of these terms and conditions as favorable as they could be.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, it's up to the seller.
Yeah.
And, the seller's agent is going to evaluate offers in a certain way. And that's how the cookie crumbles.
Yep. As
Jim Carrey says. But I think multiple offers it's a little bit fun.
It is. It adds a level of stress.
It's a little bit nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
It's a little bit nerve-wracking.
But for us, that's what we enjoy, having a career that isn't certain.
That's right.
And that just adds more.
We thrive on the uncertainty.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is psychotic.
Yeah. Well, in multiple offers, right, wrong, or indifferent, it's going to be a staple in the industry because you're going to get these hot houses. In certain sellers, like that Oxford house from a couple months ago.
Yeah.
When we sold that, we priced it aggressively for the neighborhood. And it worked to our advantage. Sometimes that's not the case.
Yeah.
It depends on the marketability of the neighborhood. It depends on the home. It depends on how well it's been kept.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of factors that play into it. But at the end of the day, make sure your agent is doing their best to get your offer accepted.
Right.
It's not always just about price. It's like, how else can we make the terms and conditions favorable for everybody?
One thing that I did do for a buyer in multiple situations, it was debating even saying it, but it's fine.
We're not gatekeeping.
We're not gatekeeping.
We're not gatekeeping.
It was a good buddy of mine buying his first house. It was the most Goodrich deal of Goodrich deals. We all, me, my buyer, and the seller all went to Goodrich. The listing agent had a kid in our grade.
Yeah.
So we all know each other.
Yeah.
Multiple offer situation. Obviously in real estate you can't do favorites. It all depends on the bottom dollar.
Not the bottom dollar, the offer.
The offer.
It's about the offer.
Yeah. But what I did was I called the agent, like, dude, like, what can we do here?
Right.
So what I did, he was like, oh, you're beat out. Like, the other offer's higher. I ran the numbers. I lowered my commission to make sure that seller netted more than they would on the other offer.
There you go.
And it worked. Was I happy about it? No. But I got a good buddy house. Right. That's all it mattered.
Right. And at the end of the day, we'll do what's necessary to try to get you to the finish line.
Yeah. Now, we're going to do it for free? Absolutely not.
Right.
But...
well, and that just further galvanizes your friendship with that person.
Yeah.
And they're going to send you future business. And, you had to take a little bit of a bath on your compensation for that deal. But again, you're helping out a close friend, family, what have you.
Exactly.
That's the beauty of our industry. Everything's negotiable.
Yeah.
We can take care of business however we need to take care of it.
Exactly.
All right. Hit me with the buy side. What do we got?
Buy side. Let's see here. Oh, number 22. What should I look for when touring homes?
Great question.
You want to lead this one?
Sure. So when looking at homes, there was a point in time where I was a licensed builder. So I'm very familiar with looking at the bones of a home.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you look at that stuff, and I'm a big DIY guy, so I can do electrical, I can do plumbing, I can do heating and cooling, I can run gas lines, I can do all the things.
Yeah.
So I look at it a little bit more critically. I look at the functionality of the home. One thing I'm not great at is like, oh, I can envision this color on the walls.
Yeah.
And if we move I'm too analytical for that. Like, I just get all this shit out of the way, and then I'll bring in my stuff, and then I'll set it up however I see fit.
Right. Yeah.
If I need to go buy something, I'll go buy something. And there's a market difference. I'm not going to say for everyone, but for men and women, the different things that they look at. So I, as a man and a former builder that was in the trades for a number of years, I'm going to look at the roof.
Yeah.
I'm going to look at the basement foundation. I'm going to look at how's the yard laid out. I'm going to look at all those different things.
Yeah.
Whereas women are much more, and again, not all women.
Right.
Okay. Not trying to put anybody in a specific box over here.
Right.
But it's, they're going to look at more like, oh, how's the layout and how's this and
how's the flow of the house?
Yeah. And
is it good
great
for entertaining?
Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, the things that are going to be an issue, it comes back to what type of buyer do I have?
Yeah.
Do I have a buyer that, you appear to be a little bit handy. You'd be able to, take care of this and take care of that. Or conversely, what type of offer are they submitting?
Yeah.
Is it rural development? Is it FHA? We need to look for peeling paint. We need to look for cracks in the foundation. Do we have all our handrails?
Yeah.
Do they use like a crazy type of paint on the exterior deck, and now all that's flaking?
Yeah.
They have fascia boards with peeling paint. Is the roof in the last third of its life?
Yep.
Where are we at looking at those things? So it depends on what you're looking for, but there's a lot of things to look for outside of just there's the kitchen, there's the living room.
If you have an agent that's just showing you the home, it's not a great agent. We're looking out for our client's best interest. I had a comment.
Well, we're looking for pitfalls that may derail the deal moving forward.
I had a comment on one of the shorts I posted on my TikTok saying, we were talking about inspections. They're like,
I saw that comment.
Yeah, they're like, you guys don't care as long as you get paid. You're looking for a short sale. No, not necessarily. No. If I am touring a home with a buyer who I have a legally binding contract stating that I am looking out for your best interests.
Right.
If I go down to that basement and I see a big crack in the foundation, ultimately, it's the buyer's choice. If they want to move forward, I recommend getting an inspection. But if it's something that I know it's too much for them to bite off and chew,
sure,
I'm going to say it. I had, again, one of my good buddies wrote an offer. We wrote an offer on a listing. We did the inspection, and I was like, I can't let you do it. Like, it's too much.
Right.
It's too much for you to handle. I love you to death. This is not a good investment.
Sure. Well, and at the end of the day, the buyer can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
If they say, we don't care, we want to move forward.
Yeah.
We have a fiduciary duty to act in your best interest, but also to follow the direction you give us.
Yeah.
So we may not recommend certain things, but if you say, we're fine with it, we want to move forward, and you and I have both been in that position. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do it.
As long as we have, and typically if I'm making a recommendation about something to protect myself.
I'm so sorry.
Unbelievable. I'm not editing that out. Shame him in the comments for that. Now, I will typically put it in writing. Hey, I'm recommending that maybe we exit this deal because of the following factors.
Yeah.
Do you want to move forward with this deal, or do you want to send a mutual release? And that protects everybody.
I do that with, this is a good tip for people that maybe someone's watching this. They're thinking about buying a house. They're also like, I might want to get into real estate. Maybe I'll do that as a career or do it part-time, so on and so forth. If you come in as a lead for me,
sure,
I always prefer either face-to-face or a phone call.
Sure.
I want you to hear my voice, hear my tone. I want to get to know you.
Right.
Once I get you under contract, I am pretty much entirely email and text message.
Sure.
Because I want a paper trail
yes.
of everything. Now, because leads are great, like people are great, you would like to think you could trust most people. That's just not the case.
Right.
They'll say, oh, you never told me that.
Right.
Mr. Seller, Mr. Buyer, we have this in writing right here. This is what I recommended. You want to do this.
And that's what we've talked about in previous episodes is the transparency and the communication. We aren't going out of our way to not make a phone call.
Right, yeah.
But there's, short of me recording my phone calls, which I don't do, I want to have some type of record to protect everyone.
Exactly.
To let you know that this has been disclosed, this is what's happening, this is how we're doing.
And it's also vice versa on the same side of my communications with the other agent.
Yeah.
If they try pulling a fast one on my client, I have everything in writing.
That's right.
I have a record of every conversation that we have. So my client is protected.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And at the end of the day, our job is to protect you.
Yeah.
Sometimes from yourself.
Yeah.
Sometimes from, pitfalls in the deal, whatever that is. But the short-sightedness of that comment that we saw on TikTok, it's not just about us trying to just shoehorn you into a home and get a deal closed so that we can get paid a commission. Because at the end of the day, if we do that and we don't do our job to the level that we see fit, we're not getting any future business from you. We're not getting referrals. We're not getting reviews. That's the entire lifeblood of our business.
Yes.
We build our entire business on the social construct that we've taken care of our previous clients. So you can have confidence as we move forward that we're going to take care of you in the future as a new client.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
I mean, it's pretty simple to me.
Now, there are agents out there that don't, and that they are just a churn and burn. Let's get as many people into houses as possible.
There's bad actors in every single industry across the universe.
Agreed. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you just have to find somebody, and you need to do your research when you're looking at agents. If it's a referral from a friend or family, or 6 degrees of separation, you know them, you're familiar with them, you're already an acquaintance, maybe not great friends, there's a level of comfort there.
Yeah.
But if you're going blind, and let's just assume that you don't know anything about any agent everywhere, you need to get on Google.
Yeah.
You need to get on ChatGPT. You need to look for agents that are active in those communities.
Right, yeah.
That are going to make sure that they're going to set you up for success.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we could talk about that more in a later episode of what to look for when picking an agent. Like, because again, there's situations where I have a client who's out of state.
Yeah.
They want to relocate to Michigan or want to come to Michigan. They've never dealt with a realtor out here before.
Sure.
How do you go ahead and choose one?
Right.
Like, luckily he found me and I'm taking care of him. Yeah. But I had this social proof to back up what he saw online.
Exactly.
So we can get into that into another episode. But.
Yeah. And it just goes back to clear, transparent communication and just making sure that you understand, yes, at the conclusion of this deal, I'm going to get paid.
Yeah.
As I should.
Right, yeah.
As I would expect anybody to be paid.
I'm not going to tell my doctor that he's not getting paid after doing a surgery.
Yeah, don't bill my insurance.
Right, yeah.
You're just getting that for free.
We went to school together. You'd do it for free, right? You'd give me a liver transplant for free, right?
Well, and yeah, that's another conversation for another day. But at the end of the day, it's like, and I love seeing those little like posts on Facebook. You know, it's like shop local, support local.
Yeah.
You know, if your friend owns a business, don't go in there asking for a discount.
No.
Go in there, pay full price, and then tell 10 people about it.
Yeah.
That's the key. That's how we're going to be able to build our communities back up and be a close-knit community as opposed to just being transactional based.
I've had family members reach out to me asking for a discount, and I
charge my family more.
I don't blame you, but I told them no. Like, I was going to either way if you wouldn't have asked. But now the fact that you think just because we're related,
right,
loosely,
right,
that I'm going to give you a discount, no,
right. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we're still owed some type of compensation for the time, energy, and effort.
And the thing is, I got to pay.
Yeah, most people work 40-hour-a-week job. They get their check direct deposited. They're off and running to the races.
Yeah.
We might work 40, 50, 60, 100 hours with a client in hopes that we're going to get paid. And we've all been there where deals have fallen apart. It's like, man, I had 26 hours into this deal with these clients and now nothing.
I have a perfect example. I have a closing today at 2:00. Once that thing closes, I don't have any more pendings. It's nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Because now on paper, there's no future money coming in.
Right.
I have to get more houses and more people under contract.
Right.
So I can eat.
Yep.
And it's stressful.
Unemployed every morning,
but I would much rather have that and have the freedom than working in normal corporate America.
There it is. All right. Well, I think that's a pretty good episode. We stayed moderately timely. That's not bad.
Okay.
I don't hate that.
I'm surprised you didn't even talk about my shirt today.
It's fine. Nobody's perfect, and you're far from it. I don't hate the Spartans. March Madness was a beautiful thing.
Oh, yeah. That Monday come down after.
True story. True story. If I wouldn't have had appointments talking about March Madness a couple weeks ago, I would have taken the boys out of school Thursday and Friday at like lunch so we could watch all of round one.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's such a great time.
It's a great time of year.
It's so great. I love it. Not a whole lot of Cinderella stories this year, but that's all right. It's still March Madness. Yep. And it is a beautiful thing.
I was pulling for McNeese, but they just couldn't.
Didn't happen.
Nope.
Didn't happen. All right. Well, for this episode of Straight from the Agent, I am Johnny B. Good, the flip-flop agent, joined by
Connery Calkins.
I mean, you don't have anything. You got some really white shoes on.
I do have some.
They're white.
They are white.
White. Those are some Caucasians, Larry. Those are definitely some Caucasians.
I like to, it's better than flip-flops.
Next week, we'll be joined by a new co-host. I'm unsure of who that'll be, but it's not going to be this douchebag. All right, we will see you guys next week. Until next time, this is Straight from the Agent. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Asshole. God.
So, thanks.